Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. We are in July, and I am collecting the bales off of our clover field. We already mowed and baled and collected off of our grass field. As you guys can see, the mower does seem to be missing a little bit of the clover. I tried adjusting the speed, a couple other things, and just nothing really seemed to make a difference. So, might just be the way clover is. But we're still getting an absolute ton of bales off these fields. We got 98 bales off of our grass field and 76 bales off of our clover field, which is going to easily give us another 1,000,000 liters of silage, probably in August overnight. So we'll go drop these bales off and come back and get the rest of them off the field. We have a little bit of farm work to do. As you guys can see, our grass field is picked totally clean in regards to cut grass. The new baler windrower setup works so much better without leaving all of that grass behind. So nice to see our hard work paying off and getting everything off of the field. So, let's see. I have to kick back and let this guy get taken here real quick. Get these top two bales off. And before putting our last couple of bales in, we are already well over 1.1 million liters of grass and clover in there already. And still have, I think it was another 6 clover bales to go grab. We'll do a quick farm tour and sort of update with our daily work. We have to go water the greenhouses. And then I thought, since we're in July and this is the last month of our first year, we might go and just take a quick look at everything we've done and what progress we've made, where we're headed next, all that kind of stuff. So grab these last couple of bales. It's a little hard to see the bales with the clover still sticking up because it's so dark green, but I think that's going to be it for the bales. So let's go ahead and get those strapped down. Perfect. So we've been on the farm for a year, and you know, if you remember, our goals for the 555 Challenge are 500 acres, $5 million in the bank, free and clear, no loans obviously, and 5 or more productions. So how are we doing on those goals? Well, let's take a quick look while we're parking up the truck and trailer. So first off, we own 58.47 acres, which is about 1/10 of where we need to be. And I included a little bit for that expansion we put on the barley field you guys saw at the beginning. I was looking at the field while I was doing the mulching and thought to myself, you know, there's just this flat space over here Why are we not using that to grow more crop? Because we're waiting to use the barley for both whiskey and for flour, so we know we're going to be using more of that. So acreage wise, I think that's where our primary focus is going to be for the upcoming year, is trying to acquire at least one more field. I'm hoping for 2. It is definitely challenging with our loan in place because of how much we owe, but we have finally gotten a couple of productions up. Our animals are starting to produce things like milk and wool that we'll be able to sell and move on from there. So as part of our farm update, we do have 5 pallets of wool we got from the sheep. There's another partial down there from this morning that we'll pick up when it's full as well. But we're starting to make some progress. So other updates on the farm, and as far as our first year progress goes, we are at 76 cows, 19 water buffalo, 137 combined sheeps and goats, and guys, I just can't tell you how many of each there are. I'd have to go in and count, and I'm just not going to do it. And 334 chickens. So we are making progress. I do want to, with you guys here, go ahead and we're going to quickly sell these 2 pallet shelves that we have. If we can, let's see, can we even click them anymore? Are they just inside the building and we've committed to owning them the whole time? I'll try one more thing. Yep, they're inside the building, so we're committed to owning them the whole time. Well, I was going to get rid of them because down at this end of the farm, we put in my favorite cold storage. I figured the whiskey might be okay being stored in the shed, probably not too unrealistic, but when it came time to storing milk and eggs, I thought having those on a hot shelf in the shed was probably not going to be a good option. So we built our cold storage. We have our first pallet of eggs in here, many more to come. We can also store the whiskey in here and our other productions until they're ready to go, or like the wool, they can go into the shed. So other quick bits of information. I'll take a quick look at our loan. So we still have, we took a $5 million loan at 3.5%. Our monthly payments are $50,100. We took it over 10 years, which is 120 months, and we have 109 months left with a $4,603,562 balance. So we are just about to make our 12th and first full year payment on the loan, and that is probably our biggest detriment to expansion right now, is not having that $50,000 a month that we're working so hard to make in the bank. So heading down to the greenhouses, I'll show you guys the expansion we put on that field that you guys saw in the beginning. Like I said, just felt like there was a flat area over there, and why not take that and make it into field for us to plant. So it starts out here behind the greenhouses. I did leave this area over here to the right in case we wanted to expand our greenhouse area, but we just brought it out about 30 feet closer to the edge, just where it was relatively flat. We had a couple of these big rocks here at the base of the tower we had to go around, and then this was a nice big piece of the expansion up here coming out to the edge of the field. So that will be a nice addition to harvest next year when the barley is ready. We still need a rock picker. Still been looking for one in the sale. Just have not had any luck finding one. We need to get the rocks out of the cornfield, the rocks out of our field expansion over here. And if we do end up getting enough rocks overall, we could do a lime production, which would save us some money on the lime, and I'm sure our fields are going to need liming here soon. So while we're down here, I thought we'd check in on our greenhouses, give them a little bit of water. I put between 10 and 12,000, I think it's realistically between 11 and 12,000 liters of manure in each of these last month. This one has 10,693, so that has a ton left, 11,416 liters of manure, and this one has 9,595 liters of manure. So I don't think we need to add any more in right now. That seems to be working just fine for us. Our wheat greenhouse down here at the very end, we did bump the production up because the chickens are starting to reproduce at a very, very fast rate. So I did pull 10,000 liters of wheat out of here yesterday, last month in June, and fed the chickens, so they have a bunch, and we already have 7,759 already. Now I have to watch this one a little bit because we are producing straw out of this greenhouse, which is not something that we're looking for or was intentional. It's just a byproduct of growing the wheat, and that is at 18,242 liters out of the 50,000 that this greenhouse will hold. And obviously once it gets full, it will stop producing, and we don't want that to happen. So other things for the first year, we do own 2 productions. We own the bakery and the oil mill. Those have been good money makers for us so far with the oil mill, and the bread is best in January, I believe, and we should be good to sell that for about $40,000. I am debating, we have, let's take a quick peek into the time-saving stock check, and I'll tell you guys, we have 64,228 liters of barley, which is going to be used in combination for the whiskey production and for more flour. I'm just debating how much I want to put in to the flour production to make sure we have some for the whiskey. So we might have to run some of that down there today. Other interesting facts, I was looking at some of our stats for the whole game. We're just under 40,000 or 40 hours on the playthrough so far. We've made 709 total bales, which we sold a lot of that as silage. However, I am confident that with our animals and husbandry expanding, we are going to need to use a lot more of that. So I'm still thinking about that grass field at the end of the road and grabbing that sort of between here and the distillery so that we can just continue producing silage and hay as needed, because silage has been a good money maker for us. So that's sort of the year one update. I think we're in a good spot. We knew the $5 million loan was going to be a challenge, and it certainly has proven to be that. We have to continue just to produce money every single month just so we can afford to pay the loan. And if we had, you know, let's see, 11 months and $50,000, if we had $500,000 laying around, we would certainly have bought some more fields by now, but that just isn't the case, and that's part of the 555 challenge, is overcoming that initial debt. So our big focus for the upcoming year is going to be on expansion, trying to get several more fields. I'd love to get 3 to 5. Realistically, if we get 2, I think we've done really, really well. So we have goals and aspirations for year 2 on Judith Plains. So now a task that I've been waiting for it seems like since day 1 with these big fields. We are going to spread manure instead of paying for fertilizer. I didn't actually look at the stat, but it's probably worth pulling up here real quick. We went through 23,767 liters of fertilizer, guys, and that stuff is what, $1,300 a liter, so, or per 1,000 liters. So we went through like almost $40,000 in fertilizer while trying to build this cow and water buffalo herd. And so now hopefully we get a little return on that, and they provide us with manure that we can use as free fertilizer for our fields, and that should save us some money. And you know, basically at $40,000, we spent almost 1 month's loan payment on fertilizer last year that we could have saved and had to pay down the loan. we'll run down to the water buffalo enclosure and grab their fertilizer. I think they only have 4,000 or 5,000 liters, but want to be topped off as much as we can. Not sure how much of this field we're going to be able to do with what we have on hand, but may as well start with it and get it moving. Hopefully every month we're producing more and more, so we can eventually not be using any fertilizer on our fields. The interesting thing is that Case/Kinsey planter that we picked up last episode, 4,981 liters, we did not opt for the fertilizer package, so it is seed only. So we could spread fertilizer and pre-fertilize our barley field before we plant it in a couple months and save on the fertilizer there as well. So let's get into the field. Let's get this guy working. Check out what we have. So we want to, I think we want to do 2 headlands. I'm fine with the corners being rounded on this one, honestly, guys. The getting deep into the corners for the fertilizer on the grass is probably more wasteful than anything else. So we can, 5 is the smallest radius. We'll leave it at that. We have a 78.7 meter working with. Let's go ahead and generate that course. Yeah, that looks pretty good, and it's even going up and down the way we want the field to be done, so that is great news. So we're on the grass field 49. Go ahead and start him off. We need a new folder for manure spreading, and we want to save the course under that so we can use it next time. It's grass 49. Good to go. And look at that Samson run, guys. We are absolutely tearing through the manure, though. Yep, there's another 1,000 gone. I don't see this field getting done entirely, but I think it's going to be worth the money savings of not spending the money on the fertilizer to keep this field up at its maximum yield. So we'll see. I'll bring you guys back when this guy's done or when he runs out. I suspect it'll be run out. But for right now, that is a great looking setup on the back of the case with the Samson manure spreader. And I'm excited to finally be spreading muck on the farm. See you guys in a minute. Well, guys, we made 1 headland and just pulled out onto our second headland and burned through, what was that, 19,000 liters of manure. So not as far as I was hoping we'd make it, but hey, we got some fertilizer on the field and we're making progress in the right direction. I think we will send the Versatile out in the Clover field with the fertilizer spreader. I'd prefer not to waste the fertilizer or use the fertilizer, but since we've already paid for it and it's sitting there in the spreader anyways, I think we may as well get that field yield all the way back up and make sure that we're continuing to maximize our profits with our goal of buying new fields this year. We can't afford to be running low yields on our field, particularly when it's silage that we're making from the clover. And we know that has been a big moneymaker. I think we made about $140,000 or $150,000 on silage our first year. So definitely a major source of income. Probably right up there with the whiskey as our top producers for year 1. So with that in mind, I will go ahead and grab the Versatile and get them set up on the Clover field. And then we may, I gotta check and see if there's anything else we need done this month. We should be good with feeding the animals. We water the greenhouses. Seems like maybe we just need to head into August after this and begin year 2 on the farm, guys. So let's see what happens after this, but I might just bring you back in August. I'll see you guys when this is done. We got the fertilizing done on the Clover field, and I thought, since we have our new cool storage building why not bring our bread back from the bakery? Otherwise, I was happy to leave it up there till it was time to sell it. But why not gather our supplies back here on the farm and enjoy having them here, be able to keep track of them? And who knows, maybe we'll head back up to town and sell. Maybe we'll head down to the south end and we'll be halfway there anyways. But I thought it was at least worth driving up there and bringing the bread back to utilize our new building. So here we come. Now, getting in here, I love this map. My only real complaint is some of the buildable space on this map is tough because you can't sell the buildings and everything's on a hill and you don't own the common ground. So we had to sort of wedge the cold storage building in where we could, and it looks great and it works great. It's just going to be a little bit tough getting in, but we will get it figured out. So let's get swung around here. Nice and easy. Like a pro, maybe even the first time I opened that second door in case I needed to push the trailer far enough back to get... Oh, we're hitting the rack. I was going to say I'm clear of the door frame there, but we are not clear of the rack. So, just almost got it in one swing. Man, going to be 3 or 4 swings at this point, I guess. Let's see. I'll swing it hard. All I need is the top to drop in, guys. Oh, got one but not the other. Let's see, now the truck bed's going to be stuck. All right, all in and away we go. Let's get pulled out here. We need to go close the door on our cold storage so our cold storage stays cold. It is 88 degrees today. And there you go, guys. Bread and eggs all in the cool storage, ready to sell when the time is right. So at this stage, I think we are about done. I do want to run down and check on the sheep and the goats, see how they're doing in regards to food and what their production is, and if we're getting new baby goats, because I'm getting notifications that we are getting lambs, but I haven't seen a notification for a baby goat being born yet. And I don't know if that's just because it's being crossed over and all the animals are being counted as lambs or what. So let's scroll down to the bottom here. All right, so this animal is 0 months old, 0 months old, 1 month old, 2 months old. So these two were definitely born on the farm today. So that is good news. Do we have any female goat babies? 0 and 1. So we had, I thought it said 3 sheep were born today. That one's 1 month old, 3 months old, 3 months old, 1 month old, 2 months old, 1 month old, 1 month, and 1 month. Okay, so that confirms it. So when I'm getting the notifications when the day changes over at midnight about the birthing of our new animals, goats are just counted as sheep. So it's either going to be sheep or goats or a combination thereof. We just have to keep track of that. So that's good to know. They do have 85,000 out of 120,000 possible liters of food, which is good. It is interesting that none of the meadows grow on this map. Was sort of hoping to have some meadow grass to be our backup, but no such luck. We are just getting 151 liters of goat milk, which since we just had a couple of babies isn't all that surprising. And our wool is up to 973 liters. So we will definitely have a pallet overnight for that. So I think overall, guys, that is going to be about it for the month of July. We'll head into August. We'll head into year 2. It has been a very exciting year 1 on the farm. Lots of changes, obviously lots of equipment purchased and getting things set up and finding the right equipment And I feel like we built a good base for the rest of our time here on Judith Plains. Now we just need to turn the money-making machine up and just crank out productions and products and animals and crops to the point where we are making enough money to get ahead of our loan situation and be able to start purchasing more fields and expanding our holdings so that we can do more stuff, because all of our productions at this point are burning through their inputs long before we run out of inputs, meaning, you know, we harvest all of our barley within a day, all of our flour is made. So we need a lot more barley, a lot more corn, a lot more dried corn, a lot more, you know, stuff for our oils, the canola, the sunflowers, and the rice. So we got to just keep upping that stuff, and we will. We'll get there, but just a matter of staying on top of it for now. So really excited to have completed year one. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. Don't forget to drop a like, turn on notifications for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.